Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Coffee with Katie. I have my Shadow Singer Fable Grounds coffee stoneware mug. I actually helped design this, as in I gave input, I didn't draw anything, but I love it. So today's video is going to be the January book tag. This tag was created from Jan Agaton, her channel. I can link her channel down below. She's a really interesting booktuber to follow, and so I recommend you go check out her videos if you haven't already. So the first question in this tag is, what was the last and first book you read last year? So the first book that I read in 2023 was Beasts and Beauty by Soman Shinani. It was like a collection of short stories of fairy tale retellings that were just like twisted from their original story, which was a good read. I really enjoyed it, actually. And the last book I read was Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross. Also really enjoyed that, just not as much as Divine Rivals, but it was good. I liked it. That will be in my wrap-up that should be posting soon. And question 2 is, what was your first read this year, so for 2024? And my first read was actually Merry Kismet by Annika R. Walker. This was something I got approved on for NetGalley as an audiobook. And I had been meaning, I really need to catch up on my NetGalley approvals because it's getting to where I have like 3 I have to review, 4 maybe? Oh no. So I need to really get to those and review them. And this was one of them actually, so I was able to read this pretty quickly. It was a very short book. I kind of had been wanting something with like a holiday romance vibe, just like a cute fluffy holiday read. And a couple of them that I picked up I liked, but they like weren't exactly what I thought they were gonna be, and this one kind of was. So it was cute. It's a book in the gift wrap romance series, and I looked, and she came out with them in like a week apart, I think. She did 5 of these, and they were all like a week apart, so I'm assuming she wrote them all and then just like published them like that, but it was like October 27th, November 2nd, November 8th, November 13th, November 20th. She just did like this series. They're all like their own story and everything. So if you're curious about those, you can go ahead and check one out. I ended up reading Merry Kismet, which is the second one because of NetGalley. But it was cute. It was fun. I gave it 3 stars. There was nothing super unique about it, but how could there be? You know what I mean? It's just like one of those books that was just like light and fluffy and enjoyable. And I kind of liked it. It set a good tone for the year, even though it wasn't a 5-star read or anything. It was nice to just have this like cute little fun thing to get me started in my 2024 reading. And the third question is just to share 3 of your reading goals for 2024. And I would say definitely the one that's on the most forefront of my mind at the moment is to read down my owned library, because I have like 0 space, like negative space at this point. Because sometimes I just have books like upstairs on the floor or in boxes, and it's a problem. I'm not talking about nonfiction books because I'll always have those, and if they don't fit on these shelves, they're gonna go somewhere else. But I'm talking about just like books that I either unhauled, but I haven't gotten rid of them, or ones that I kind of still want to keep, but I don't have room on my shelves, and so they were like replaced by other ones that I would rather display and have on my shelves. And it's too much. And I even had a mood last night where I was like, what if I just go through all my shelves and declutter? Like, what if I just do it right now? It was too late to do that, like too late in the day. I needed to go to bed. But I did have a moment where I was just like, what? Should I just do it? And I think it's because I'm too overwhelmed and I'm losing interest in some of the books, and that's okay. Like, I don't want to get rid of them, right? But if I'm not gonna read them and they're just gonna sit there, like maybe I should declutter them. So I'm kind of going through a lot of that. So I would really like to read down my owned library and just get the percentage down. I did like kind of plug in the books that I have in this spreadsheet that I guess I'll go over soon with you guys for my reading stats for 2023. But I have read like 30% of them. I know that sounds like not that many, but number-wise, comparatively, I was happy with it, but it's not where I want to be. I'm just happy that it was that number. And of course, that doesn't count like these, where this entire shelf I have read, but they're duplicates because I collect those series. So like, that's a little bit different because I've read every single one of those, right? But I only count one of them, which, yeah, of course. So that's been on the forefront of my mind, clearly. Another one is to read new releases that I want to. So if a new release comes out and I was excited about it, instead of saying I'm excited about it, buying it, and then letting it sit on my shelf, to try to actually read it. Novel idea, right? And review it, because I really want to get more reviews up. I do like doing book reviews. I just don't always make time for them. And then I think too much time has passed, and then I just move on with my life. But I would like to actually read them and review them and put those up because I enjoy doing book reviews. It's one of my favorite types of videos, I think. It's not always the most fun. Like, I think tags are really fun. It's not always the most fun, but I really like them, and so I would like to do more of that. Another goal would just be to continue or finish series that I've started. Obviously, some of them I may not finish, but like J. Bree, I almost finished the Bonds That Tie series in 2023, and I have one left, so like finishing that this year would be no problem. I really need to read Dark Age by Pierce Brown, and then of course the other one that came out, Lightbringer. I could do that if I really tried, but like I read Iron Gold last year, but I didn't finish the series. So even if it's just reading Dark Age, that would continue it, right? So I would really like to do that. I know I'm gonna start series because I have a problem, but I would really like to work on continuing or finishing series this year. Another one I was thinking about was actually Emma Hamm's The Dragon of Umbra series, because I love that series and I haven't continued it after the second book. So I really need to do that. So those are 3 goals that I definitely have for 2024. Please hold me accountable to them and help me with them. I also have seen that, like, sorry, I'm going back to reading my own library, but I've also seen that I have a lot of indie/fantasy romance books that are also kind of indie that I've collected that I've been really excited about, and then I haven't read them and they're just sitting on my shelf, and I know I need to get through them because some of them I'm not gonna like. I know I'm not gonna like some of them, and then I can just get rid of them, and I really need to work on that. So it's just in the forefront of my mind, you know? I just really need to tackle that. Question 4 is to share 3 of your most anticipated releases for 2024. Of course, Spectacular by Stephanie Garber. She's coming out with that in October, and I'm very excited, but I was, like I said in a previous video, I was bittersweet because I was hoping it was going to be a different book, like a different series or a different book in the Carvel universe, which it is, but it's a holiday novella. So I'm going to think of it as like a holiday special, like those TV specials. But I am excited. It sounds like it's going to be a little bit longer than How the King of Elfhame Came to Hate Stories, which I just know the size of that. So she said it's going to be bigger than that, longer than that. So that's a decent amount, you know? It's not going to fly by in a matter of seconds. But I'm very excited. I love Carvel, and so I'm very anxious to get back to those characters. So I'm very excited about that, and I love Stephanie Garber, so I'll read anything she writes ever. Another one is Dragon Rider by Taryn Matharu. Again, I just talked about this in my anticipated releases, but this is about dragon riders, and it sounds really good. This author did this series that I cannot remember right now for the life of me, but they said it was basically kind of like Pokemon, where it was like these monsters would team up with this main character. But this one is Dragon Riders. It's his first adult fantasy debut, and it's about dragon riders and rebellion and stuff, and I'm really excited, and I actually just got approved from NetGalley for an e-arc, which I really struggle reading ebooks, and I'm gonna try real hard for that because it comes out in April, so I got time, but I just got approved for it, so I'm hoping that I can read it in time to get a review up before it comes out. Pray for me. Let that happen. And then another one that I'm very excited about is Apprentice to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Maher. This is book 2 in the Assistant to the Villain series. I loved Assistant to the Villain. I really loved it. I don't think I gave it 5 stars, but I really liked it. I think the more I sit on it, the more I like it, but it was just really funny. It was dark, as in the villain is like, there's like heads hanging from the ceiling, and she's like, oh, he had a bad day, but it's just so lighthearted and funny at the same time. And they've got this like cute little crush on each other because she's working for the villain and he likes her, but he's like, how can I do this? This is not villainous. And it's just really funny and cute. I really enjoyed this book, and so I'm looking forward to reading this, but also it's Apprentice to the Villain, so I'm wondering if the main character Evie is starting to go dark. Interesting. Intrigue, you know? But I'm very excited about those 3 books. And then question 5 is, which goals did you reach or not reach last year? So I did not read a sprayed edge every month for my sprayed edges shelf challenge. I tried, but I didn't always make it. So technically I did not complete that. Not that it's completed. I just missed some months. So I missed a couple steps, but it's gonna take me a while to get through them all, which we are gonna continue this year because I am trying to read my own library, and that counts as it, so. And then for my 23 books to read in 2023, technically, I only read 22, but I just DNF'd one, so I cannot be held responsible because I really was not enjoying it. and I thought it was going to put me in a reading slump, and I really didn't like it, and I just couldn't get into it, so I DNF'd it, and I stand by my actions because I read every other book on that list, even The Belated Faith, which I really didn't like. So I basically did the challenge, except kind of not. And then I did read 80 books again, so I did complete that challenge, my reading goal for 2023. However, I barely finished it in time, and I was kind of worried about it. I feel like 80 is kind of where I tap out. I would love to read 100 books in a year, but it hasn't been possible the last few years. I've been tapping out at around 80. So that's what I set my reading goal again to this year, and I think that's just kind of where it's gonna stay. I know some people read 200 books, 300 books. Some people read 10. Like, it doesn't matter, and I need to stop obsessing about it and getting worried about it. But I think 80 is my happy spot. I do get stressed at the end of the year if I haven't met it, but it's okay. It'll be okay. But yeah, those are the questions for the January book tag. I would love to see your answers to these questions, and I would love to hear about your plans, your reading plans for 2024, if you want to comment them down below. I hope we all have a great reading year in 2024. I think mine's off to a pretty good start. Hasn't been the best, but it hasn't been bad, you know? I look forward to seeing everything we're gonna read together. But for now, that is it for today's video. Please like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you want to, and I will see you next time. Stay safe and caffeinated. Bye.